after the encounter, I then had to say like, I don't love you. I mean, I had to undo it. I remember to undo it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy TOSKinger, and guess what? I love M&Ms. Okay, wow. That was a crazy opening. That was way too long of chewing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm leaving it in there, though. I'm not going to edit that out. That was funny. Today, what I wanted to do was react to a crush of mine. Don't ask me why I have a crush on this woman, okay? And I'm pretty sure she's a comedian. So her name's Lauren Compton. This episode is called Undressed with Your Eyes with Whitney Cummings, who is also a comedian. First Date with Lauren Compton. That's her actual podcast. So, guys, let's check it out, man. I have a crush on this chick. I kind of want to see her talk, and I feel like I'm going to crush over her, and you are going to do the same with me. So why not? Let's have a good one, you guys.
First date.
My version of sweet used to be like, hey, just so you know, everyone thinks this. And I'd want to know. I'm calling human resources because my bra just unhooked.
Oh, wow.
It unhooked just in the chair. No, don't do anything. Just call the police. I don't cry
Call the police?
often.
I can see that.
I'm so excited to see you tonight.
Whoa. Okay.
First date, baby.
Interesting. Okay, so we're doing this, you guys. Fun.
First date.
Interesting podcast.
And welcome to another episode of First Date. I'm going to try to say this really fast because my guest has to sneeze really quick.
Sounds like me.
Comedian.
I'm allergic to you.
Well,
Whitney
you're not
Cummings.
going anywhere. So
I'm
if
allergic
anyone
to
has
girls
any-
who are prettier than me. I'm
False.
breaking out into hives.
Well, everyone, first, this is Whitney Cummings. Please give it up. I remember the first time I ever saw you. It was like 10 years ago at Laugh Factory.
Oh, God.
And I was on a date with this like beefcake of a dude. And I was wearing this bright yellow, super slutty dress.
Whoa.
No.
And this guy made me sit front row.
Oh, no.
I was laughing so hard that I distracted you. And you turn and look at me and you go, well, aren't you a ray of sunshine? And you look at the guy that I'm with and you go, you're getting laid tonight.
Hey.
The fact that I'm laughing at my own joke is embarrassing, but
First of all, let me just hold off on this, okay? Lauren Compton, I appreciate you. You're a hot chick, and I have a crush on you. But the fact that you just said that you were on a date with a beefcake and Whitney Cummings said that you're getting laid tonight makes me not want you anymore. But it's okay, because I'm sure you don't want me either. And am I lying in saying I don't want you? Yes, because I do want you. But just try to understand from my perspective that you being with any other man before me makes me pissed off and cringe. Let's continue with your podcast. I love you.
the way you delivered it is what I'm laughing at.
I'm so stupid.
But that is so funny that at that time in my life, someone enjoying me too much, I was like suspect of. I was probably like, what drug is this? Like, is this Adderall? Like, what is this? Like, that is really nice. I probably thought you were Hillary Duff. I don't know. Who knows?
I get that a lot.
I was like, can she help me? That's very nice. You're still with the guy?
No.
Kidding.
No. So I am so honored to have you on my show.
Oh my gosh,
I hope you're
congratulations
single.
on this. Thanks for
Hey,
having me.
Thank you for coming on. So the way that this works, I've got this menu. I've got appetizer questions.
Okay.
I've got main course questions, and then I have a dessert question.
Good
to sweeten
idea.
it up at the end.
See,
This is a
you're
good
used
idea
to
for a
being
podcast.
wined and dined. Brunettes, we just get taken to Chipotle. I'd be like, I have the rice choices. I have the meat choices.
That's funny.
This is full 58 million courses
This
here.
is fancy. Okay, let's go.
It's a swanky date. I'm pulling it out of the woodworks for you, babe.
Really, I'm into this.
We're gonna start off with some appetizer questions. What is your guilty pleasure?
My
Ooh.
guilty pleasure. It's murder.
Like serial killer films? Like
No murdering. My guilty pleasure, I think, is more watching really bad dramas. Other people might think they're great. Like there was this show called The Affair, which was on Showtime, which was a show that like you could tell thought it was a great show. Does that make
Before she continues, I wonder what my guilty pleasure would be. Probably, honestly, something that I do often, and that's just people watching. I love to people watch, and I love to like analyze people. Like I love to like watch people moving through a crowd, and I just like to guess their story. Me and my boys, we were just doing that recently, and that's something that we just like to do. Like me and Junior, that's what we like to do. We just kind of like to sit at like in open areas, right, where there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people. We'll drink some beers, and we'll just like be like, "Yo, did you see that? You see that? You see that? You see that?" We just talk a lot of shit. It's a good time. I did burp a little bit. Sorry, I apologize.
Makes sense? Like, you know when people like rich people make shows about cheating on their wives, and it's really, you can tell like 2 or 3 episodes in, they just want to watch actors have sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like that Weekend show.
Yes, I was gonna say, I think Euphoria was kind of like that too. I was like, oh, the guy that made this is going through a rough spot in his marriage.
Yeah.
And he gets to go to work every day and see Sydney Sweeney topless. So like this will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
dude, just get a prenup. Like I like to just watch, because making television, you kind of are able to see all the choices they make when you're
Yeah.
like, you didn't have to do that. Like she didn't have to take her bra off for the scene to work.
Yeah.
Like this was like,
I see
you know,
that all the
and
time.
yeah, what that the cult show? I'm with you. What's the show called with The Weeknd?
By
the way-
Idol.
By the way, what
Isn't
is-
it Idol?
You guys, hold on, I'm sorry. What is going on with the studio?
Are you
Okay,
hot?
No. I'm calling human resources because my bra just unhooked. It unhooked.
Let me help you.
It unhooked just in the chair. No, don't do anything. Just call the police. I've never had this happen in my life. It came off just now.
Do you want me to help you?
Well, I don't know. You've done enough. What's going on in this?
I am literally undressing you with my eyes.
Truly. Have you ever
Interesting.
sat in a chair and just had your bra snap? That was wild.
Dude, I am here to let you know that your boobs are just getting bigger and bigger by the month.
That was a trip. Anyway, so what the ghost of, you know, I don't know, Garth Brooks or whatever just happened in here. So I would say that's kind of an uninteresting answer. I do like to go on Facebook and look at my bullies from high school, which ones are divorced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. You know what's so funny? I found myself going down the rabbit hole like that too. Yeah. I was on Facebook and I was looking, and I never go on Facebook. I don't know what it was. My mom must have sent me something on there, you know? You know how moms are just on Facebook. And yeah, I did the same thing. I went down the rabbit hole and I saw people I went to high school with, and I'm like, the fuck are they doing? So I look at their shit and I'm like, huh, interesting. And yeah, no, I'm not a dick man. Like, hey, you guys are doing your thing. But there's a couple fuckers out there who were fucking mean to me, and they can go fuck themselves and they can enjoy the shit that they live in. Fuck them. You know what I mean? It's fun to see. I like to see that. I've done a lot in my life, and I'm very happy with what I'm doing and where I am. So it's very interesting to see a lot of these fuckers and the places that they're in. Not being spiteful. I'm just observing. Okay?
Because that's bad.
That's satisfying.
Yeah, or just like going to like my bullies in high school and looking at their kids and being like, oh.
That's just seeing who's received their karma.
Kind of.
You
You
know?
know how like you'll go see like one of your bullies' kids and the kid's knees kind of bend weird?
Yeah. Or they don't have a knee.
Or no knees to be
No
found.
knees.
Or just like bow-legged and you're like, or like the kid loves baseball and you're like, you have to sit through kids' baseball games. Like whatever. Like, so little things like that. I wish I didn't need that to feel better. But I guess that would be like my guilty, like I feel dirty afterwards.
Yeah. What's your hidden talent?
Oh God, I'm so talented.
Whoa.
My hidden talent.
Besides taking your bra off without literally touching anything.
You mean like having sex with ghosts in plain sight? I mean, I was gonna say I am good at sucking dicks, but I don't do
Whoa.
it that. It's not hidden.
It's public knowledge.
Yeah, for how big my teeth are, I'm great at it.
Whoa. expect
Horrible at
that.
hand jobs, great at blowjobs, but I feel like that's normally how it works because I always tried to get out of hand jobs because I always felt like I was like I don't know, burning the man alive. You know what I mean? And
So one thing about Whitney Cummings is that she is very overtly, obviously, about making sex funny. I think that a lot of women try to fall under that plane of funniness, but it just doesn't really work. She is good at it, and I think she's made her career off of making whore jokes and funny, like, slut jokes and shit like that. I didn't expect her to say that, but intrigued. Nonetheless.
And so I got good at blowjobs.
My nose.
Do you have road rage?
No, I honestly,
Just
when
throat
someone
rage.
cuts me off, I'm literally like, good for you.
You got past me.
I'm like, good for you. I'm like, I hope you get where you needed to go. Like, I genuinely have so much peace with that stuff.
you have like road kindness.
Nah.
Yeah,
fuck
I'm like,
I got
go.
road rage.
Can I, like, you obviously are busier than me.
But what happens if you need to get over your
One thing I must say. So I'm sorry. I'm interrupting her conversation, and I'm sorry, Lauren Compton. I apologize. I don't mean to interrupt you talking, sweetheart. I'll make it up to you in any way, shape, or form that requires me to. I hope you see this because I'm spitting game right now. I'm trying to be polite for you. Anyway, talking about that road rage, man. I have a little bit of road rage, and if you've known me, if you've dated me, whatever it is, and I get behind the wheel of a car, if someone's driving like a fucking dickhead in front of me, I will tell them and I will scream at them, and it might end in an altercation. Now, I've never actually been in a roadside altercation, but I'm not afraid to get into one because I fucking cuss people out. Who taught me that, you might wonder? My stepfather, the guy who raised me from the point I was like 3 until I was probably 11, and then he turned into a huge cunt. He was the worst behind a fucking wheel, man. I remember he would literally roll down windows, scream at a woman, call her a cunt, and drive away. And I'm sitting in my fucking high chair in the car, 6 years old, like, he didn't give a fuck. And the worst thing is, right? I saw him drive, or I was driving with him as a young adult, probably like 18, because I was visiting where my mom lives or whatever. And I got in the car with him to go to like this Christmas party with my brother. And he drives like a fucking tortoise. Slow motherfucker. He's the worst driver ever. And he was the one cussing people out behind the wheel. So it makes me wonder, were people just cutting him off because he was slow? And then he got pissed off because he felt slow? That's probably it. Wow. I just broke him down.
so nice to everybody else, and someone else doesn't let you get over when you finally need it. Does that piss
When
you
I
off?
tell you that I leave 45 minutes earlier than I need to be somewhere, like I'm
I don't believe her.
always super early, so I can just watch other people freak out, and it's kind of funny to me to watch other people freak out.
Yeah.
I'm weirdly
She must
zen
be
about
masculine,
driving.
man.
We're gonna
'cause
get into
women
some
don't do
main
that shit.
course questions now. So I'm gonna get a little deeper.
Okay.
Do we need any safe words before I
No, you tell me.
don't know. I don't think so.
Can I keep my panties on for the rest of the interview?
Well, your bra's already on.
cannot. That is so wild.
I can't let that go. What is a deal breaker for you on a date?
A deal breaker for me on a date. A guy ordering broccoli rabe.
What?
You know the robs are like
Yeah.
they're like super long and you have to like watch him like hit himself in the face. It's like
What?
So if you're in ketosis, if you're micro fasting, intermittent gaying, if you're high performing, if you're in I don't know all these fucking words. Like the date is when you drop it all.
Yeah.
If
Fair enough.
If the appetizer's
But-
not a complete protein, you deep throat that shit anyway. You're on a date.
Let me say something. I usually only eat once a day. Now I'll snack in between here and there. Like I'm clearly eating M&Ms like a fucking dumbass in the morning for some reason. I'm just like that. This is not a product placement, by the way. I just like this shit. Okay, for me, I do the intermittent fasting just because I literally only eat once a day, and that's just how I do things. That's how I eat. If I were to go out, right, on a date or whatever, or if I'm just going out with the boys and they want to get food, I'll get drinks and I'll eat dessert because I've already eaten. So like I'll have a cheesecake or two because I'm a fat fuck. I'll eat the cheesecake, whatever it is. I'll let my date eat whatever the fuck she wants. I'll have my drinks. We'll have our drinks. We'll have a good time, and I'll get my dessert. That's just how I do things, man. It is what it is. Now, what would I say is what did she say? The red flag first date? If you're on your phone, that's the biggest one. I have had to get up and leave a date because a bitch was on her fucking phone the whole time. And I said to her, I was like, am I boring you? Is there something more interesting on your phone than being with me? Obviously, I said it sarcastically because there's nothing else more interesting than me if we're on a date, okay? I'm literally the guy with all the stories. Why are you ignoring me on your fucking phone? So guess what? I got up, I paid the bill, and I left like a gentleman. I said, fuck that bitch, and then I got on the phone immediately to call someone else. Don't be on your phone with me if you're on a date because I will fucking leave you and call your friends.
I don't want to watch your eating disorder come out, okay? I'm not going to text Rogan and be like, the guy I'm with just had some sugar. Like, just eat what you're gonna eat. Just eat something. Just eat something off the menu. Don't ask for a bunch of changes. Just this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't go to the bathroom and snort your protein powder that you brought in your pocket. Like just, I don't like it when a guy on a first date is like, well, yeah, no, I'm actually only on the carnivore diet, so I can't have this, and then I can't. It's
Whitney,
just,
you have to stop finding guys in the gym.
No.
look, what can I say?
I like to eat meat, man.
It's not just gym men anymore. It's all men. Every man thinks they're being drafted at some point, and you're not. I don't know what you guys are preparing for.
The end of the
I
fucking
don't know
world,
what-
bro.
Is there something we should know?
Yes.
Like, why are you guys? I don't need you doing dips at dinner, just trying to get in. Like, just chill.
Funny.
I can see now why you prefer Chipotle.
Yeah, dude. I just like, I know I used to make fun of guys that brought me to Chipotle. Now I'm like, God, that was like the most normal date I'd ever been on, you know?
Is height a deal breaker for you?
You know what's odd? It used to be a deal breaker for me when I had insecurities about my own body. I wanted a guy that was like bigger than me, taller than me, and I think I falsely, when I was younger, conflated taller guys with ones that would like protect you or whatever,
Yeah.
you know? And now I kind of, the last couple of guys I've dated have been shorter than me, and I think it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of doesn't come into play at all because I think I was so shallow about it before. And also it's like when you're able to call yourself out on it and go like, well, guys just want, you know, hot girls with big tits. And we're like, well, we just want guys that are tall. Like at least big tits and hair color you can change.
Yeah.
Like we're shallow about things men can't change about themselves.
Absolutely
big size
true.
and height. You know, so it's like so much worse. So like I'd rather date a short guy than be a hypocrite, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. So true, man. Women, man, you guys have standards that men can't change. And you know what? We don't give a fuck. We'll find someone else. But the thing is, when we start to have standards for what we are looking for, like for example, like, you know, a lot of people just don't like fat women, right? But there's a ton of fat women that don't like hearing that. So they fucking snap. Hugh said, fuck fat bitches. See, he's one of them, right? So as soon as men start to have standards, all of a sudden we're the bad guys. But then you want men who are taller than you, who make six figures and all that fucking, all the shit, right? And a lot of men can't really just change that. So who's worse, men or women in the terms of their preferences?
So how do you get out of a terrible first date? What's your exit strategy?
I date them for 2 years.
That's funny.
So you make them suffer.
It takes me 2 years to realize that had been a bad date. That's how long. I mean, truly, like I
person
know
in the
I come
background
off, like,
laughing is
rough
hilarious.
and like whatever I do on stage, but I kind of will turn everything into a positive. Like, you know, so I turn a lot of that stuff. I'm like, he's in ketosis, like he stinks and is like oozing from the eye, and I'll be like, oh, but he takes care of himself, and you
Yeah.
know, like, so what does cum taste like?
Ew.
Swamp or whatever happens in ketosis. But I tend to really be too overly positive. I think I'm kind of the opposite.
Is that like a double-edged sword, do you think, sometimes? Because I would think being super positive is a good thing.
I guess I want people to give me the benefit of the doubt, you know? And I want people, if I mess up on a date, I want them to be like, or do something that I would want them to forgive me and give me a second chance. So
Yeah.
I guess I just like to give people second chances until I'm 40.
Who's your audio's coming through.
That's fair. Let's say that you meet your soulmate.
Uh-huh.
He's a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
What can he do to ruin that?
Interesting. Ooh.
So that's a great question. It is tricky. So pretty much nothing except trip and fall in front of me.
If he trips and falls in front of you, it's over.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh! The amount of pressure.
Look, so I would watch the footwear
No
choice.
way.
I believe, this is unfortunate,
Why are
okay?
these men wearing heels?
This is cobblestones plus like cute hipster like Oxfords, don't mix. I was one time in New York was with this guy that I was madly in love with, and he did look down at his phone. He wasn't paying attention. He wasn't on
No
point,
way.
and he like tripped and fell. And you know when someone tries to not fall and they kind of like
Fall forever.
forever, dude. It went on forever. If he
That
had just
sucks.
eaten shit right away and like hurt himself and gotten up, I would have been like, cool. But it was like, it was like
All the way forever.
It was like on
So funny enough, I lived in Canada for many years of my life, okay? The majority of my years. Now, those moments happen, man, because there's fucking ice everywhere. Now, if you've had one of those moments where you're suddenly on your driveway and then you start slipping, like the world is running away from you and you're just trying to catch up, that shit happens, man. Now, the fact that this girl says that she fell in love with this guy and then all of a sudden he fell forever in front of her and then she's like, I'm not into it no more, that fucking sucks. I feel bad for this guy, man. I hope there was ice there, because then at least you have like an excuse.
Some Lucille bullshit, and I just instantly fell out of love with him. It was just the way he, and then you know what? And then he like looked back, like to blame the sidewalk, like, and then we had to spend all this time looking for the thing he tripped on, and it was just like, dude, it's just get your shit together. Like for me, if a guy's not like aware of his surroundings, it's really unattractive to me.
So how long do you wait until you say I love you in a relationship where the guy doesn't trip?
I have a hot take on that. My thing with that, because I think we overuse that word, and I've done jokes about this before, so I don't want to feel like I'm like
I love you and
being
stuff.
a hack about it, but I feel like I've heard that word and said that word so much, or that phrase before I was ready. And when you get in a relationship, it starts to just be a way to manipulate someone, you know?
Yeah,
it starts to just
kinda
be like,
true.
but I love you. Like, it's like, you're just saying this to try to manipulate me and confuse me right now. And like, if I felt loved, I'd feel it. So my thing is always like, if you feel loved by me, you'll tell me when I love you, and I'll tell you when you love me.
That's fair.
That's very mature.
Like, I'm not going to tell you because you'll know.
So, okay. So they can't trip and they have to be a mind reader.
That's funny.
I don't.
You're looking for an alien.
Okay, I'm in a blazer,
Nah.
so I.
That's not true. That's not true. Hey, man, I get that. I've been in a relationship before where the woman has said like I love you, and then she's like waiting for me to say it. She's almost like, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? You know? Like I don't know what to say to that. Like I don't know. Like it's super awkward because it comes when you least expect it, and you might be able to tell. Like for example, I could tell if a woman is in love with me. It's usually after the second date. But I'm just saying, if like I can tell. So when you tell me, I've already known, and I know you're waiting for me to say it too because you want that validation. You want to feel like you're not wasting your time. But guess what? I don't feel like that word should have so much power. And for me, I guess, actually, that's so interesting because I guess it does. Because if I'm not willing to say it just to say it, I obviously care about the word. Wow. Just kind of debunked myself there.
I have my shit together. But it's more like, it's like we don't have to rush and say that. You know, like I like to take the pressure off. It's like, if you don't want to say this for a year, we don't have to. I think people have like baggage with that phrase. And as soon as the phrase is said, all of a sudden, like the rules change and there's all this pressure, and you know what I mean?
You wait till you feel it.
I wait till I feel it, and I don't overuse it often. Sorry.
What is the fastest you've ever said I love you to someone?
Well, have you ever said it by accident?
Yeah.
I have.
Once you've said it by accident, you really like overcorrect in the opposite way.
Yeah, it's so true.
One time during sex, I meant to say I love that.
That's funny.
This was like date 4.
No way.
And I was like, oh, and I said I love you, but by accident. And then after the encounter, I then had to say like, I don't love you. I mean, I had to undo it. Have you ever had to undo it? Oh,
That's funny.
God.
That's super funny.
It's a nightmare. So I really try to be careful because then I just don't like to add pressure to a relationship.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship now?
I am 5 months pregnant.
No way.
Have a guy.
Yeah.
He's a Star Wars nerd, so he insists on being called Lord Vader
Is this a joke?
because I won't say baby daddy.
Lord Vader.
Yeah, so don't be jealous.
Is this real?
I will withhold myself.
So she's
Yeah,
actually
but we were
pregnant.
dating for like 6 months and then I got pregnant. So we're still dating and I'm pregnant.
No way.
What happens if he trips later today?
He's done. Abortion.
One time we were walking and he wears these he's from North Carolina, so he wears these ridiculous I think they're hot. Like they're almost like knee-high boots. Like he wears
way.
very high boots. And we were like walking on a sidewalk, and his foot, you know, when your ankle kind of like pops on the side of a sidewalk, and like he popped right up, and he looked at me, and he was like, whew, and I was like, that was a close one, buddy. Like he knows, because I talked about it in one of my specials, so we do laugh about it. He knows.
Yeah.
He trains.
That's funny.
You said you have red flags. If you had to call them out, do you know what they would be?
Of my own red flags?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Good question.
It's weird because everyone's red flags are different. Like something that makes you repelled by someone might be totally endearing to another person. Red flags, chain wallet.
Oh, yeah,
Chain
that's
wallet?
huge.
Like the rope?
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about other people. Oh my God, I have a chain phone.
I want your red flags.
About me?
Your red flags.
That's a hard question.
sorry, okay,
How do you answer that?
Red flags about me. I have very little patience for, as soon as I know you've lied, I'm just gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like which is maybe not a red flag. I don't, if you
kind
feel
of
the need to
that's
lie
big.
to me,
That's a good
maybe
one.
I've done something to make you feel unsafe, and I'm just gonna remove myself, and you'll never see me again.
Please, you have to sit back when you say stuff like that. It's scary.
What do you mean?
That's intense, dude.
I'm kind of at the point where it's like if I find someone lying or bullshitting, I'm kind of like, let's just stop this before more damage is done.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I just bounce. Like I used to kind of like,
I'm trying to think. What would be my red flags? If I were to have red flags, what would my red flags be? Ooh, that's a good one. What are my red flags, Hughes? He says he doesn't know because obviously he's a man. He doesn't give a fuck. But like, no, I'm trying to think. If I were to have red flags, if I were to say, hey, be careful to a chick that I was dating, let's see what they would be. Probably that I don't let things go. Not usually. Like, it depends on the scale of the issue. If, for example, if you did something out in public and it made me look stupid, I am never gonna fucking live that down. Like, I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you what you did to make me feel this way. And guess what? The only way that you can apologize is by banging me, okay? Or sucking my dick. That's just a fact. Then maybe I'll let it go. But if it happens again, I'm just like, you didn't learn anything. But clearly I didn't either. So my point is, don't do something stupid that's gonna make me look stupid in public in front of other people that I don't know. That's huge. I'll give you an example, right? When I was in Miami, I had met this chick, whatever. I must have been on Tinder or something because I never lived there. So like I kind of wanted to meet people. Now there was this art exhibit that was happening, and it was at this gallery, and it was a gallery opening for one of these artists. And I'm like, okay, well, this is the world that I want to be in, so let me go to this art gallery. I went, I met a lot of people, I got a lot of contacts, you know, people following me on Instagram, vice versa, right? And I said to this girl that I was talking to on Tinder or whatever, I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to this art exhibition. You're more than welcome to meet me there. We could talk about art, and we can, you know, have some drinks and just talk. So I'm talking with people, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I see the chick come in, and she's wearing the skimpiest whore hooker outfit ever. She comes in and I'm immediately dumbfounded because I'm like, because I'm in a room full of fucking conservative art people, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then obviously she comes right over to me because I fucking told her to come here, and I'm having a panic attack because I'm like, how the fuck am I going to explain my way out of this? So immediately she comes and she's like, let's talk about art. I'm like, no, let's leave. So I grab my shit and I go, whatever. I go take her, we have a couple drinks, whatever. I didn't tell her that she was wearing, you know, what she was wearing, and it embarrassed me because it was my first time meeting her. But it comes to find out she's like a fucking like prostitute or like a OnlyFans bitch. She does porn or something, right? And I'm like, fuck, you know? I was pissed, right? I come to find out later on that night that everyone that I had followed and had followed me on Instagram in the art world and the art scene that I needed to be in had unfollowed me because they saw the bimbo that came and immediately latched onto me like a fucking leech. That sucked, man. Now, if I saw her more than that afterwards, I would be like, hey, by the way, I can't take you anywhere because you dress like a hooker. Simple as that.
fight, and why did you do that? And you just lied to me, and it just doesn't go anywhere.
But
you
I
know?
don't think that's a red flag, though.
I mean, if you're a liar, it is. I mean, if you've kind of like gone through life like getting away with a lot in relationships, like I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
Your
mean?
guy. She
Yeah.
sounds like a guy.
Because
really
or
does.
else I'll say something that will make you change the way you view yourself forever. And I also don't want to do that. I'm not.
The people laughing in the
I'm not trying to
background
be
so funny.
mean, but I'll just casually be like, okay, well, you just lied to me, and you've never given me an orgasm. It's been a pleasure.
Damn.
Like, I don't.
That's hardcore.
Like, I don't want to ever go mean, or I don't ever want to go there. And I think when people get hurt, they say things they don't mean, and they say nasty shit. So I just like remove myself because. And if you're lying to me, there's either something unresolved or about you, or I'm making you think you need to lie.
Yeah.
And then, so we're just a bad match.
Man, I have when I get in confrontation in a relationship, I tend to shut down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say anything mean.
Yeah, smart.
Because I know that if I do,
he'll kill you.
over. Done.
Yeah, that's interesting because then I'm going to say something, or you're going to say something that's making me lose respect for you. And if I lose respect, I kind of just shut off.
Well, that's huge.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so I
huge.
think it's just, I think a lot of guys are, and people in general, girls are just like down to fight. I think they think it's like part of a healthy relationship or a hot relationship
fucking
where
can't
it's just
stand
kind of
that
part
shit.
of it. I'm just not your guy, I guess, for that. Even though the biggest red flag of anyone is when they say like, I hate drama. Like those are always the most dramatic people. But I think, I just have very little, I'll just be like, let's just call it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say that like I have
It's like you're like at a football game. You're like, well, done.
Yeah, like let's call it. Like I don't fight hard for something just because we've been in something for a certain amount of time. Like
I had a woman that I was seeing, and she liked to fight. Like, not even verbally. Like, she liked to throw hands, right? And I'm like, this is a game you're gonna lose. Stop it. Stop throwing hands at me. Because it would start off play fighting, like, ha ha ha, you know, like poker head or something, and she just gets pissed off. But, you know, that's just me, man. I like to fuck around. I was poking fun with her or whatever, and then she got serious because she saw that she couldn't overpower me, so she started to throw hands, and I was like, you're not gonna win here. Yeah, she just loved to throw hands, bro, and like hard. Like, she would fucking throw punches, right? So I would like, I'd have to like pin her down. And then the one time I used to do this to my brother when we were kids. So I hovered over her and I was like, are you gonna stop? Get off of me! You know, like she really wants to hurt me. And I got her by her wrist and I'm pinning her down. I'm on top of her. And then I like start to hork up like this loogie. I'm like, you know, like right from here. And I'm like, you better stop. And she's like, if you fucking do that to me, I'm like, and like, I'm ready to do it, you know? I like let it dangle a little bit, you know? And it's coming out. This is super fucking disgusting, but it is what it is. So like I let it dangle out and then I caught it with my hand. And she goes and she gets her hand and she fucking whacks me so hard on the face. But it was funny. Honestly, the reaction for that was worth the punishment. But yeah, that girl liked to fight, man. She liked to throw hands, but she never won. So I don't know why she liked to do it so much.
to me, I'm like, if you feel the need to lie to me, that's a deal breaker. Red flags about me. I know I have a lot. But I'm being a perfectionist about trying to think of like a funny one. I sleep in the bed with the dogs.
Oh, that's horrible.
I think guys
Not
can be
red flag.
weird about that sometimes.
How many dogs?
2.
No, man.
bad.
Yeah, not bad.
3, including a man.
Another thing about me, I don't know if
Lauren, stop
I
it.
don't know if it, well, I'm big on separate bedrooms. I go to sleep at a weird hour and I wake up at a weird hour. So I always like to give permission, like we can sleep in separate bedrooms. We still like have sex and whatever, but so yeah, I'm big. Also separate bedrooms. That might be a red flag.
Interesting.
And
I know a lot of people that do that.
Yeah, I'm very specific about a couple little things. I don't cry often.
I can see that.
She's got nice teeth.
You seem very strong.
No, I'm not. It's just I'm not the girl that's gonna like cry if you're trying to hurt someone just for the kink of it, like I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
Guys are kind of into
does
that.
she keep
If
saying
I
I'm not your
gag on
guy?
a dick, I can do it.
She
I
is
did
more of a
learn how
man
to
than a
do
woman,
that.
I would say.
I know how to make myself be like, like I can do that. But I think
Crocodile
a lot
tears?
of guys sometimes need to be needed, and then sometimes I'm kind of like I try to be super self-sufficient because I like to go the other way because I feel like I hear guys complain like women are using me for my money and women are just using me for this, and I'm like I don't need you for anything. But sometimes guys see that as a red flag.
Yeah. Well, we'll go on to my dessert question. What is the sweetest thing anyone has ever done for you?
Can I say one more thing about the red flag? Just from a guy, because now I feel like I'm like I don't have any. I have so many. I'm just trying to think of a good one.
Nah.
I do love cars. Like I just got a '82 Silverado, which I love, but I cars that are leased, I don't care about.
Cars that are
And
leased.
if you need a car to not have like Gatorade just all over everything, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
What
You
does
know
that
what I mean?
mean?
Like I think sometimes I've gotten in people's cars or seen the word purse and been like red flag, red flag. Like if you're like, well, this is the way you take care of your car.
Oh,
this
it's
is-
not
you know
clean.
What I mean?
That makes sense.
Do you think that's a reflection of someone?
Yeah, for sure.
How someone takes care of their car?
I think that it could be. I can see men getting in my car and being like, this is a red flag. So yeah, so I definitely have a lot more red flag. I also I do carry a hammer in my car if I see a dog in a hot car with the windows up, and I will smash the window.
Have you
get
ever
the-
smashed a window before?
Many times.
Have you?
No
Sometimes
way.
I just go to grocery stores just to look for dogs in hot cars.
Wow, that's interesting.
And have you taken those dogs?
Yeah,
What if someone leaves a note on their car and they say,
still illegal.
so you still smash that window?
Yeah. If it's a baby, it's like that's sauna.
Imagine you just pee in the car.
Like babies, it's good for them. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
But yeah, it's like I kind of it just happens so often, you know.
Wow,
And so I will sometimes if we're hanging out, we will just
That's like a date for you.
swing by.
Want to go to Whole Foods?
You want to go smash some windows?
Dude, hey, that would be a fun date. I mean, like, kind of insane. Hey, do you want to go and find dogs that are locked in cars so we can smash the windows? That's wild. I'd be like, yeah. Okay. Wow. Super interesting. Maybe I should start carrying a hammer in a car. No, I won't.
And rescue some dogs. Like there are a lot of like high octane random rescue missions that might go down at any moment.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
You know.
I've never heard of anyone doing that. You're probably one of the only ones.
I'm probably just most people wouldn't admit that. But yeah, so that's like a thing because sometimes guys will be like, "Why do you have so many hammers in your car?" And I'm like, "Don't worry
So
about
many?
it."
So many?
Yeah, what?
Do we have a collection of hammers?
Well, yeah, because there's hammers that have the little point on the end just to smash windows.
Okay.
And then there's one with a glass cutter on the end, and then
What?
there's the one for sex.
Come on, bro.
So my last question is the dessert question. So what do you think is the sweetest thing someone has ever done for you?
Oh wow, that's a really good question. I think the sweetest thing, well, my dude just did something that was really sweet, but it might be sad if I say it in terms of what the sweetest thing, if I were to think of them all. I had family coming into town, and I had dogs in the car, and there was like blood or something on the car, and I
What?
was like, you know, I need to get the car washed, and I don't know where. And then I was like, you know, there's a service that comes to your house. It's like $40. They like come, they wash your car at your house, whatever. And but I had these two dogs that couldn't see each other, and this other dog. It was like having people over at the time.
What's
was kinda
going on?
stressful.
Yeah.
At like 10 o'clock, I couldn't find him, and I hear like a vacuum running, and he's outside vacuuming the inside of my car, like washing the car. And I was like, "What are you doing? The person's coming tomorrow." And he was like, "I could not stand the thought of another man washing your car."
Huh?
And whether it's sweet or not, I don't know.
Protective.
I think it's hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that's hot. That's
weird.
You know, also kind of petty on his part, frankly. I feel like it wasn't about me at all.
That's so
but
weird. I've never.
He's very sweet. That's very sweet to me. Someone that is, I guess, the love language I receive is like acts of service. Like if
Yeah.
you're taking, he's like, I know you have a lot going on tomorrow. It's like taking one thing off your plate. Like that means a lot to me.
That is sweet.
You know.
What's the sweetest thing you've ever done for someone?
Oh, I'm ridiculous.
That was so interesting.
But like in a way that's kind of. I recently paid off someone's debt.
Wow.
That really needed it.
Oh, wow.
And like to me, it's not. That doesn't sound sweet. Maybe that sounds like, oh, Whitney, you're using money. I just maybe that's selfish because I remember how awful it was to have money stress. You know. And a friend of mine just had like a debt she couldn't get out from under, and I was like, let's never speak of it again. This is a gift. We never have to talk about it again. Like it's over.
Wow.
That was super. That's
You know,
super
maybe
nice.
that sounds like using money. Like I've gifted people, like someone recently, a horse, like a therapy horse, like I'll rescue abused horses, and sometimes it's really good therapy for people.
Yeah.
So they get a home, and then the person gets something to take care of and love and work with.
This is
And
incredible.
rescue dogs all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. There's a lot. I mostly don't rescue them. They're mostly, you know, I don't get most of them. You know, I don't know. It's like the rescuing thing is so. I think, you know, I'm gonna have kids soon. Let's see how much I'm able to keep it up. But
Well, one of my favorite things to do
this
is
is a weird question. This is a hard question because it's like I feel like I'm being such a narcissist. But I guess those are the ways that I feel like I can show up for people. They're kind of like.
I think those are great ways.
What can you give me an example? What would be a normal answer?
Those are answers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, most of the time people do equate them with a gift or doing something like taking someone on a trip.
I'm trying to think. What is the sweetest thing I've ever done for a person? Man, it's just been so like in my own world recently. I don't even know if I know of any. The sweetest thing I've ever done for a person. Man, does that make me selfish? Does that make me into a fucking dickhead? Oh man, maybe I just haven't had the opportunity. I don't know, man. The sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me. I don't even know that. It's lonely at the top, boys. I don't know, man. Something I gotta think about.
Trip.
Yeah.
Or having candles all over the house when someone comes home is like a way to be romantic.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Oh, like in a relationship. I didn't mention that at all. I feel like sometimes, I'm so backwards on this because I feel like love is so, sometimes the way you can love someone the most is to like just tell them the truth about what's going on with them.
oh no.
I know.
Should have pushed the microwave for that one.
My version of sweet used to be like, hey, just so you know, everyone thinks this.
Hey, you need those people in your life,
And
man.
I'd want to know. You know what I mean? Like, and I'd be like, I thought that was a really sweet thing to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would literally be the person that was like, hey, so-and-so said he's cheating and here's what they know. And they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, oh, I thought I was helping. Like, that would be a kind gesture. But yeah, I'm now realizing it's just people want gifts and money.
Wow.
Well, I would almost say that that's also a red flag.
What, the new one?
Telling people
She's pissed.
I don't do it anymore because y'all weak. Y'all are weak and you can't handle me and Jack Nicholson over here can handle.
Let me say something. Yo, if there's something going on in my life and I need to know about it, you need to fucking tell me. Like, be that person, please. Be that person in my life that is not afraid to give me the cold, hard, stone truth. Because guess what? I'll really appreciate that shit, man. Because I love those kinds of people. I think I talk about this many, many times. I'm the one to say to a person, hey, you got something in your teeth, you got something on your shirt, whatever it is, right? Like, I want to help people in that way because you never know who they're going to meet. Summing that up. So if you're that person to me, I appreciate you. Now, if you're that person to me, like on a higher scale, where you tell me something about myself I just haven't heard before, and I'm like, wow, I do that? Oh shit. Thank you. I'll appreciate that, man. It really goes a long way for me.
Tell the truth, okay? Yeah, no, I stopped telling people the truth a long time ago. But I used to think that was like what was being a good friend, you know?
It is being a good friend. Just most people can't handle it.
Or it's the truth is somewhere in between. And I don't need to be the person to say, like, giving people the dignity of their own experience. You just love them unconditionally and don't try to help.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like a person that really appreciates when someone's like, hey, just so you know, it comes off, when you say it like this, it kind of comes off this way. I'd be like, oh, thank you for telling me. Like, I want someone to tell me if I have food in my teeth. I want someone to tell me.
There we go.
If I'm doing something I'm not intending to do, like if my intention and my impact are different.
Boom.
So I think I sometimes project and go like, oh, just so you know, like.
There's my point. Damn, she said exactly what I fucking said. So there we go. I'll give you guys a story. Someone I was dating in my past, and when I say that, please understand that I've only had so many girlfriends, right? I date here and there, but I've only had so many girlfriends. Okay, so when I say this person I dated in my past, it's not like I'm meaning to sound like there's a fucking ton of them. I'm just saying that there is someone with this specific story in mind that I have seen in the past. So this person that I had seen in the past, we were going to go and visit her distant family. She warned me, she was like, hey, you know, these people aren't necessarily like the people you would necessarily hang out with or like associate yourself with. They're kind of like, you know, dumpster heap and shit. And I'm like, chill out, man. I've dealt with fucking hardcore motherfuckers. I don't need to, you don't need to give me a play-by-play of how I should expect this, right? So I go in there. I'm charming. I'm a nice guy. Everyone gets along with me. I'm never usually a person that someone doesn't like. I go in there and she said to me, she's like, hey, don't tell any specific things that are going on with us. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell them about what this, that. And I'm like, it's not my place. Why would I say? I'm like, you don't have to worry about that with me. I'm literally just meeting these people for the first time. They don't have to know anything about my life except my name, maybe, and what I do. That's it, right? I'm just getting to know them. So don't worry about that. We sit at their table and I told her, I was like, hey, listen, but we are on a time frame. So like, understand we're not here to stay. We're here to say hi and bounce. So it goes on way longer than I expected, right? I'm just like, babe, we got to go. And I kept saying this like fucking 3 times. They probably thought I was a psycho, but I was saying, come on, we got to go. We got to go. We end up getting out after 20 minutes of me saying that. Fuck, so pissed. Anyway, she's the one. So in this situation, she was the one talking about everything in her life that they didn't have to know. We get in the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? She says, do what? I'm like, you told me not to spill any beans and you're the one spilling all the beans. I'm like, you talk too much. And she's like, what? You talk too much. You tell too much of your personal life to people that you don't want to know about your personal life. If you do that with your family, I'd hate to see what you do with strangers. You don't have to say anything. Just go there, smile, have a good time, and listen to other people's bullshit. You don't got to be the person involved in that. And so she was like, I didn't even think I said anything bad. And I'm like, you literally said everything you told me not to say. Like, what are you doing? So that's my point, right? I'm the guy. I will be the one to tell you that you're fucking up. No problem. I will be that person.
The way that came off was this.
Yeah.
Just like, I want you to get this job. And if you do that, you won't. But then I'm like, why am I meddling? They're just going to think I'm being a dick.
Yeah.
Nah, they
Dude,
won't.
It's been
If they
so
appreciate
nice
you, they
having
won't.
on my show.
Thanks. Congratulations.
I'd love to have you come back again for a second date.
Fun.
Whitney, where can people find you?
All of the things, WhitneyCummings.com. My new special on Netflix is called Jokes. I have a podcast called Good For You.
Well, I love that you
I'll
came
check out
on,
her
guys.
podcast.
Thank
She's
you
funny.
for tuning into another episode. If you guys would like your own martini glass, you can hit up
Cool.
store.ymhstudios.com.
Anyway, that was pretty good, man. We saw my crush, Lauren Compton, talking with Whitney Cummings. I thought that was pretty fun. I had a good experience watching that. Lauren Compton, let me know if you want me to be on your show. I'll happily have a good first date with you. And I think that you'll think I'm an absolute gentleman. And I will be happy to make you giggle and laugh. And don't think I'm an asshole by the things that I say. I just say shit sometimes. Anyway, I am done. I'm done hitting on Lauren Compton. I'm done listening to Whitney Cummings. You guys, thank you so much for coming back. This is your boy TOSKinger. And guess what? We're here for the long haul. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. And we will see you tomorrow. TOSKinger out.